Welcome to the weekly message. Over this past weekend, I actually had a friend that invited me to an indoor football game here in town. It ended up that our seats were actually pretty good. We happened to be right next to the field. Now, for those of you who aren't too familiar with indoor football, the field is much shorter than a regular football field. It's actually only 50 yards long instead of 100 yards long. And additionally, the sidelines are actually walls, or about the same height as the hockey boards, and fans are allowed to sit right next to those walls. It just so happened that our seats were right in the front row, right next to the field. Not only were they good seats, but I actually had a pretty interesting experience happen while at that game too. In the first quarter, it was a pretty tight game yet. I believe it was tied 7-7, and the quarterback for the other team threw an interception. However, right as he threw the interception, he got hit right into our area of the stands. It ended up that he and I were looking face to face, eye to eye, following that interception. He looked right at me, and all he said was, "Man, that wasn't supposed to happen that way." Immediately, I started laughing, and the other people next to me started laughing, gave the guy a high five, and he went back to the game. However, on the ride home, I got to thinking about that conversation a little bit more. What he was really saying was that the receiver didn't run the route as he should have, or the quarterback himself did not throw the ball where he should have. Either way, there was a miscommunication that had taken place on that field at that point in time. You see, in a football game, it's very important that the quarterback knows exactly where his receivers are going to go. At the same time, it's very important that the receivers know exactly what route they should run and where the ball will be thrown. It's also extremely important that the offensive linemen know what both the receivers and the quarterback will be doing so that they can make sure that they block the defenders as well as they can. As long as there's good communication between that quarterback and the rest of the players on the team, then the play will be accomplished as it should, and the result of the play should be a touchdown instead of an interception like occurred last night. Now, the game ended up okay for the Bandits. They ended up winning. However, that particular play definitely did not go in favor of the quarterback. That is just like the body. Think about it. The quarterback is acting in that scenario just like your brain. As long as your brain can communicate with the rest of your body and the messages can get through, then the brain will be able to fully communicate with every single organ, tissue, and cell in the body, and everything will be able to function as it was designed to. As long as everything can function as it was designed, then everything will be able to work up to its optimum. Your heart will be able to beat as it should. Your lungs will be able to breathe as much oxygen as they should and as frequently as they need to. Your stomach will be able to digest food just like it should. The muscles in your arms and legs, will be able to move so that you can do all the things you need to do throughout the day. As long as the signals can get from your brain down to all those organs, tissues, and cells and back again, you perform as well as you can. Just like as long as those signals get from the quarterback to all of the players on his team, they will perform at their peak potential as well. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you next week.